Okay, day 93, part 3, Braverman, Haiti, and me. Basically, I'm taking Eric Braverman on a tour of Haiti right now. Even if he doesn't come with me, I think he's got class on Friday at Yale. I'm taking him on a tour, and kind of like Heart of Darkness. And there's going to be a double entendre there as well. Let's do that. Let's just take Eric Braverman on the Jungle Cruise, Heart of Darkness. The CIA has a lot of what they call winks. They make companies, front companies like Diane Corp, like, we're in the business of killing people. And they use a lot of asset forfeiture. You're going to find Pug Winokur, at Enron before Diane Corp. And he basically, you take a company that's worth nothing, you merge it with a company that has a huge pension fund like PGE here in Oregon. Then you collapse the other company after you've moved all the pension funds over and did a whole bunch of loans and so forth. So, that's his background, was kind of stock fraud. But it gets worse up here at the University of Denver because, these seminars on torture and so forth, there's this, as I said, there's this kind of like wink to all the other people that are in on this, that we're winning. It's very important for them to send out the signal we're winning every day. It's very important to the FBI to win every day, not just win in the end. Like CORD, they had a group called CORD that was talking about human trafficking, and they just changed the name because CORD was a double entendre on stem cells, so forth. It's cord blood. But like I said, I didn't come up with these names of 40 or 50 operations, Operation Underground Railroad, where I'm supposed to be taking pictures of people that are children that are being trafficked from Haiti to Colombia over a 2-year period of time, whatever. And I'm a special forces person, and it's the hardest thing for me to watch this happen. But I had to catalog it. And at the end, you round up the people silly enough to fall for this entrapment. So it's just if you follow McCabe, and this goes back to 2010 with me, it's just entrapment after entrapment after entrapment. You're going to find all the big cases in the FBI were all just glorified entrapments where the informants were used all along the way to kind of lead this rube into, doing something and then running an operation like this and then getting arrested at the end. So I won't talk too much more about what I said in the last. Watch version 2 if you want to find out how similar this body bag, using body bags sent back to the United States to Fort Bragg or some kind of medical lab, let's say the CDC in Atlanta. I love doing that because it makes everybody scramble. You could send these back to the CDC in Atlanta, and you could cause quite a stir because you could be putting drugs in those body bags, in the body cavities of the people that are in those body bags. And this happened at Fort Bragg in North Carolina. So I'm predicting that not only will we have some bags going to and hearts going to Fort Bragg in North Carolina, but I think we're also going to have some bags going to the CDC in Atlanta. I'll just lay that out right now. I always love doing that. As I mentioned before, Palantir is a system of tracking people 7 by 24. Not only their habits on the web, not only where they live and your bank accounts, like your PayPal. The guy, Peter Thiel, used to be at PayPal, and you're going to find the whole PayPal online thing was a way of getting more information about everyone. But also geographically, geospatially. This is the James Clapper type information. So this is how, not only do I have a profile of you, your family, your friends, and then guys like me that you don't like, but then you also track them 7 by 24. You can watch previous episodes if you want to learn more about that. So now this gets into a little bit of fun mind game here. I'm not going to go into the doctor that came from, who was an Air Force doctor in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1982, who came to Haiti into a remote village called Pignon. That's the title of this. That's the title slide of this thing. I'm not going to go into his background yet. I'm going to save that for later. But I'm going to just show you a little bit of Haiti history and a little bit of fun stuff here. He had this doctor, let's just call him Guy for right now. Guy had a little organization called Friends of Guy, and he had different places around Haiti, and he had a hospital a little bit north of Mirabalais here. and it changed its name to Friends of Haiti. Okay, Friends of Haiti. So what this, they have 6 different locations right now that they're in. Little, small villages, way off, and you would never know if anybody went missing. And 3 of them I could find on the map. 3 of them could be found on Google Earth or Google Maps. This Thomas, this means Thomas's water. Grand Boulage is a great turn or a great rounding. And then that's the only 2 I could find. Well, one's way up to the north where there's a singer who's very popular. She has the same name, and good friends of the de facto dictator for the last 5 years, Martailly. But let's concentrate on these 3. Noyau, Morne Boulage, and Montalais. This is a mountain of aliases. Oops, I misspelled that. It should be mountain of alias. Alias is the same word in French as English. It means the same thing, alias. Morne is sad rounding, like a sad face. And Noyau could mean core or heart. Well, okay. So try to find these. Try to find these with Google Maps, okay? And I'll give you an example. For Noyau here, they say it's an hour and a half north on Highway 3 here. Well, if you come an hour and a half north from Port-au-Prince, you're going to get right there at Mirabeau. This says 2.5 hours because I also brought in going back to Tamazio. But I've looked all over around Mirabeau and I can't find one. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Noyau is actually a pseudonym for Mirabeau. Heart, core, heart. Core, not only heart, but the core because you've got the liver, you've got the kidneys maybe. So anyway, I looked into this life cradle, and life cradle is, the heart's a muscle. As soon as it comes out of the body, you have about 4 hours if you put it on ice in one of those picnic coolers. But if you perfuse the heart with blood and keep the temperature right, you can keep with this device, this life cradle, you can keep the heart for 12 hours. So that's this chart. 4 hours with the ice chest, and then 12 hours with the life cradle. So that's going to come in important a little bit later on. So I thought Montalais, Montalais, I'm not pronouncing that correct in French, but in the mountain of aliases. Well, if you look, there's a rue Montalais. I think maybe I did spell it right. And it is actually right next to this very famous Haitian statue. And Marron Inconnu is the slave, the unknown slave. And this is a very famous painting that he's celebrating the freedom. He's celebrating they had a revolution, a slave revolution in Haiti, and they became free. And so every Haitian knows what this is. And it's a symbol. It's kind of like Che Guevara on T-shirts and stuff. It's very popular. So what if you took your enemies from the previous thing, you dusted this area, you know who all your enemies are, you've had your informants, Bill Swing has brought in all of his informants, we've marked all of our enemies here. It turns out that what if you took your enemies from, symbolically now, let's say you're taking the heart out of a revolution. Let's say you started at Rue Montalais and you drove up here, and your prisoner, you then let him know right around Grand Boulage that he's heading to his death. Okay, and CIA loves to do this. Right before the death, they like to remind you that all your family's going to die too. And it's just something they just love. Anyway, that's when you get the sad face. You get the Morne Boulage, when you get the sad face. And then the heart comes out here in Mirabeau. There's a helicopter pad here now, so that helicopter is going to go any different directions. I think the helicopter goes high speed to the new airport, and the heart flies away. And you got 12 hours. But I also think there's a surgical center here and a hospital here now, so you can do the live transfers, which every hour that you reduce this heart being on a plane, you increase the survivability of the recipient. So if you do a live transfer, I mean, again, the person getting the heart doesn't know. They're completely under. they don't know where the heart's coming from. The heart's just coming in here. But these 25-year-old hearts, especially like runner athlete types, are, that's the heart you want if you're 80 years old, believe me. So now, will it fit in the chest cavity is another question. So there's some sizing issues that they have to do, but that's why the hospital's in Mirabile. And I know this because I know Friends of Haiti, and I know about Dr. Guy, and I know he goes back to Arkansas. And this is the slippery slope. This is the slippery slope. When you start going in and looking at the enemy as a resource. Now, I'm not saying these guys are that, but I am saying these guys created a perimeter around those areas for the recovery of the earthquake, and those people were taken either by helicopter or by car to Mirabile. And this is Kissinger's red teams all over again. And it's kind of this CIA, and again, I'm saying that it goes back to Haiti to 1982, the same time Ollie North and George Bush come up with the Iran-Contra thing and the Mina airport thing. And I think the original idea was train Guy, Dr. Guy, in Arkansas and then fly him down to Haiti to do this. Because I think the problem was at the Arkansas prison, there wasn't enough people dying in the morgue, in the sick bay, to provide enough hearts. I mean, I'm just going to say it right out loud. So, again, I don't know why there would be 15,000 organs missing from Syria, and I don't know why we would have films of DynCorp white helmet operations where people are removing these things if this wasn't standard practice of DynCorp. Okay? And there's the DynCorp body bags again. I just love the CDC, and I'm just letting everybody know right now. We got a lot of talkers at the CDC. I'm just letting everybody know. And we got talkers in this supply chain as well. Okay, you can't run an operation like this with a lot of moving parts, and you can threaten people and you can threaten to kill them and so forth. But at some point, they have that moment, that Braverman moment, where they go, "This isn't right." Like the soldier here, Clay Hunt, they have that moment where they go, "This isn't right." And they either commit suicide or they're suicided, or they come forward. And if there's a channel, like my channel, to be able to tell people about it in a breadcrumb type of way, they're going to do it. Humans, this isn't right. Humans don't operate well under this. And you can have all the little cute sayings of rape, pillage, and plunder that you want. Eventually, good humans come forward. So, and just like I said, ask Eric Braverman on Friday. Can you tell me the strategy of putting all these, 5-star hotels in and luxury ports and so forth? Was that supposed to help the tourism? Can you give me statistics of he's a follow-up expert, a statistical follow-up expert with Planeteer. Can you say how much tourism's been created down here? Did they come up with a national birth certificate system and a tracking system so they could track everyone when they were there to measure how the programs they were putting in were being effective? Ask them that question. The answer is no. They deliberately kept it as a manual system that's in 5 different places, and you're going to find a couple of fires in those 5 places. So, again, I want to keep the focus on Monica Petersen as a representative of a person who discovers their moral compass and says this is not right, and is willing to give their life for saying and speaking out, saying this is not right. Okay? So that's why I'm going to keep saying Monica Petersen, because she's this example. And I'm going to keep on Andrew McCabe, because this is entrapment. You think these people are your enemies, but it's really when you become the enemies of these people. Now they're going to create some kind of diversion and say, you kicked somebody's dog and that's why the person hates you, and he's in this gang, and this gang is, and you're going to totally overwhelm this target. Let's say Judge Napolitano is our target. We're going to overwhelm him and make him think that the church group hates him or some local group hates him, and all these folks from the rural areas are going to come in and make his life miserable and break stuff in his house, and just a steady 1,000 cuts kind of strategy, which is the kind of the COINTELPRO type strategy. And you're going to think, oh, that's that guy who hit his dog, in the car, and I didn't stop quick enough, or whatever. You're going to think there's some local reason, and that's putting the revenge motive in these people. They're going to be filming you or doing something when you explode finally at the person who cut you off in traffic. They're going to be filming you, and then they're going to be showing it to everybody else in the group, and that's how they create this revenge motive. And these people in this local group, whoever the informant group is, don't know that it's McCabe trying to kill you. They think that you've offended somebody in their group and they're defending their little, clan. It's McCabe that's doing this. And by extension, Comey. But Comey has this, you can see the angst in Comey's eyes and his heart when he talks about this stuff. He's just not sure that it's the right thing. McCabe's completely convinced. He'll set up, entrapments all day long and be happy about it and be happy to go in front of the cameras and take full credit. So that's part 3.